Hey there, my name's Miranda, welcome to another video, and this is going to be my attempt at vlogging the Magical Readathon Owls edition for 2019. I'm already not doing very well at this again because it is day 3, it is April 3rd, and I definitely did not start early for the Charms extra credit. I could have started 3 days early, but I didn't because I'm still reading a book that I started back in January. I only have about 30 pages left, so I'm going to be finishing that. And then I can finally start a book for the Magical Readathon. I still don't know if I'm going to start with the Star Wars book for astrology, or if I'm going to start my History of Magic book, second book, Chronicles of Per Day, and the Black Cauldron. I don't really know just yet. But I know I want to start it tonight. I might get like a chapter or 2 in. I'm going to be in and out of the house quite a bit today because today is Challenge Cup at my university, so all 3 campuses are competing in sport events today. I'm going to go support my team because while I'm not playing today, I want to watch them and cheer them on. And then I also have some other stuff I gotta get done, and then of course I have to get back to my dissertation at some point. So yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna be fun. I'm also repping some Harry Potter socks today, and I chose Hufflepuff not because, well, actually I might be a Hufflepuff, but because yellow is my school color for the Challenge Cup. This is my campus color, so I'm going to support them. It's raining on my way to the leisure center for the first netball game. I know my way around town. Alright, the first netball game is over. I will be going to another one in a bit, so I'm home for a little while. Don't think I'm gonna have time to do reading before the game. I don't know when I'm gonna start this. Maybe later tonight? Maybe? I don't know. Oh, and the rain is back. See, it's still raining. Oh well, that's fine. You can actually sometimes hear the wind. It can sound really spooky at night. Alright, it's now April 5th? Alright, it's Friday, April 5th. I didn't record it all yesterday. I have no footage of any netball games from the day before because I wasn't allowed to record in the leisure center here. But it's now the 5th day of the Magical Readathon, and I have finally started my first book. Alright, so I'm going to be reading my pick for History of Magic first, and that is a book that was published more than 10 years ago. I've only read the first chapter so far. I actually finished the book I'd been reading since January just this morning, and I decided to read the first chapter of The Black Cauldron just to see how well I do remember the book beforehand. I also read a synopsis online for the Book of 3 because I didn't fully remember everything that happened in it. But I read the synopsis, I've read the first chapter, and I do remember surprisingly more than I thought I did. But I don't remember a lot of the finer details. So there's a couple names that are popping up that, let's just say I'm really glad I read the synopsis. And there's a lot of Welsh names, so I'm going to be having a lot of fun because I'm terrible at pronouncing Welsh. I've been living in Wales for 2 years, and I can't do it. So I'm on The Black Cauldron. Apparently this is going to take me 3 hours. Maybe. I usually beat my reading time on my Kobo. Whatever it suggests, I usually beat it. I don't quite half it, but I beat it. On our way to International Coffee, it decided to rain. But on the bright side, I have clicky shoes. Alright, I'm now back. That's done. And okay, I'd like to say I'm gonna go back to reading, but in actuality, I need to get back to work on the dissertation. Alright, so where is... There you are. Got my notebook of a good chunk of my evidence, and I gotta get back to work. Alright, it's now Saturday, April 6th. I did not read more than the 1 chapter that I have. Yeah. No joke. I'm just spending all my time just trying to make sure my dissertation's done, which this is harder than I like. I essentially just have all of the tabs open up on my laptop with all of the articles, and I'm double checking, and I'm writing, and I'm translating, and it's just making me sad. I might take a break and maybe read my pick for divination because it's just a one-shot manga. It's like 50 pages. So that won't take me too long. It'll be a nice little break, and it will mean I have something done. I'll finally have something done for this readathon. I don't know yet. I'm gonna do a bit more work. It's like 3:30 in the afternoon, so maybe I'll take a break in like half an hour and I'll read it really, really quick. Just kind of fly through it. Doesn't take me very long to read mangas. All right, it's now almost 20 to 9, so officially the Magical Readathon all-nighter started just over an hour and a half ago. So don't think I'm going to be fully joining and reading for an entire night. I still have a lot of work I need to get done, but I'm going to read Personate, the manga I chose for the divination category, because it's not going to take me very long and I at least have finished something for the magical all-nighter.
Alright, here it is. I'm not gonna show the website though because I don't want to lose the websites I'm able to use to read my manga.
I'm already expecting I'm still going to enjoy it, so. I finished it. It didn't take very long. As expected, I did enjoy it again. I am finding that, I guess maybe I didn't like it quite as much as I did last time. I think it might have been a little short, but it was a nice little quick read. It had a really, fun story and had quite a few good points. So that is my pick for divination. Done. And at the beginning of the magical all-nighter, and that will probably be the only thing I read all night that's part of the readathon. Alright, so it's been a couple days. It's been like over a week since I last recorded. It is now April 21st. But I have a good reason. So I'm only starting up now again with the vlogging for the magical readathon because I had my dissertation due. So I was finishing up trying to polish it, making sure it was completed, making sure I had my words in, making sure my bibliography looked all right. And now I'm officially done. I'm done. My dissertation is completed. I don't have to look at it anymore. I don't have to read anything else for it. So I can actually start reading again for the magical readathon. I can read for fun again. So I haven't really finished anything else. And rather than go back to reading The Black Cauldron for my History of Magic exam, I have decided that since I promised myself it was going to be my reward for finishing my dissertation, I'm now reading Blood Witch by Susan Dennard because I really want to read this. I really want to read this. I'm about 100 pages in, so I'll be honest, it's probably not going to take me very long to finish. I'm devouring it because I'm enjoying it so much. I've been wanting to read this since I got my hands on it, and I couldn't because I had to finish my dissertation, and now that I'm done, I didn't want to wait any longer. And when that's done, I'll get back to my exams to finish so I can finish the career path for orologist, because I really should do that, and then I will hopefully read another book or two. Alright, so that's my little update. And hopefully I'll do better at this vlogging thing, because I'm really not that good at it. Right, quick update. It is now the 23rd. It is 2 days later, but I am now at the halfway point of Blood Witch, and with the way it's going, I might actually finish it later today or early tomorrow. It's already past noon, so I'm not sure. Depends on how much reading I get done with all the other stuff I gotta get done today, but things are looking good. Alright, this is another very quick update because I'm actually leaving for yoga pretty soon, but I finished Blood Witch and I how long until the next book? Oh god. I'm gonna have the worst book hangover from this. I'm actually really thankful now I have that Fake Rate hangover recovery kit because I'm going to need it. There's just so much that happened, and I'm gonna process my thoughts in yoga class and then I'll get back to this because I really need to process it a lot. Until then, I will be cuddling with my little Aduin plushie because he just went through so much. And I'm also going to get back to my e-reader. I'm going to continue with, if I can open this, I'm gonna continue with Black Cauldron, which I am still excited to read, but I just have such a hangover. All right, I'll be back with a bit of an update of how far I got in this and some thoughts on Blood Witch after yoga class, I guess. All right, it's now the next day, so it's the 25th. I really haven't read much more. I actually have to get packing pretty soon. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm gonna be in London for the weekend, so I gotta get packing. But I'm at 37% for Black Cauldron. So I'll definitely be at least halfway through it before the end of the day today. And I'll probably finish it on the bus ride tomorrow because I'm taking the mega bus all the way to London, so I'm gonna be on there for like 6 hours. But I don't know for sure. And I think I'm gonna take my camera. I don't know how much recording I'll do though, because I'm going to London as a weekend city break with a friend of mine to celebrate finally being done my dissertation, and she's just celebrating taking a break. She has a full-time job, I don't. So that's kind of what this weekend is. It's a weekend away just to relax, enjoy ourselves, have fun. So I don't know how much recording I would do, but I might record a little bit here and there. But I know for sure I'll at least finish this, and I think I'm gonna try finishing Star Wars. I don't know if I'll finish anything else for the magical readathon. Oh, I'm going to read the volume 1 of Shugokara later today, because then I'll have that one done. And then if I do have time, I'll read one more of the books that I picked. I'll read one of the other books that I've picked for librarian if I do have time. Don't really know if I will though, so that's not much of a guarantee. But at the very least, I'll finish the ones that I picked out for urologist, and I'll finish my career choices. And that's pretty much was my goal for this month anyway, because I had the dissertation due and I knew I wasn't going to be able to read like that many books. So as long as I finish the ones I picked for urologist, I'm happy and I'm very proud of myself, and it will be an accomplishment. All right, I really do need to get back to packing. I gotta go run to the grocers because I really need to, or at least like Premiere or something, because I need to pick up snacks for that bus ride. Oh, and I have some video editing I want to finish. I have some stuff I want to finish getting rendered because I want that all done so that I can just enjoy my weekend, because I'm not taking my laptop with me. This is one of the first times I'll be traveling away for a couple days. I don't have to bring my laptop with me, which is amazing. Yeah, no, last couple times I've gone to London, I had my laptop with me because I was going there just to spend my entire time in the library. So, get to that. I can read more of this tonight, and yeah. Wow, that my dissertation doesn't exactly mean I'm entirely done with things to do, but at least I'm actually doing something that's, well, I'm not going to be graded on it at the end. All right, this is really, really quick because I'm going to have to leave in about, I guess I got just under 20 minutes, but I'm leaving soon for the bus stop. I'm catching the mega bus all the way down to London, so I have like 6.5 hours on a bus ahead of me. Packed up, ready to go, have my e-reader charged so I can read. I didn't read it all yesterday because I started packing very, very late because I spent most of the day doing everything but packing. So that's all done, and I'll be reading on the bus, and I'm probably going to finish Black Cauldron because my e-reader says I only have like 2 hours left. And I could probably cut that down by a little bit because I'm almost at the halfway point. It's a children's fantasy novel, middle grade fantasy novel. It's a pretty quick read. Other than that, I got 6.5 hours ahead of me on a bus. I don't like buses on Welsh roads. They're really windy and twisty for a while, and it's not pleasant. Oh well, it's also kind of a gray day because unfortunately it's not going to be the best weekend for weather. It's supposed to rain. But that's fine. I'm getting a city break anyway, and I even have tickets to Aladdin tomorrow night, and I'm very excited for that. I was really hoping we'd get tickets to something. We ended up finding some pretty decently priced Aladdin tickets. Actually, they're pretty decent seats. Either way, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fantastic. So yeah, I might do a little bit of recording. I don't know how much, because this is pretty much a city break for me to celebrate finally being done my MA, and my friend is celebrating. I think her summer break is starting pretty quick here, but either way, she just is celebrating having a break as well. So we're just we're having a good weekend, so I don't know how much recording I will be doing, but I'll see if I can get a couple shots in of my time there. Again, don't know how much, but we'll see. I ended up getting like a couple bits of video on my phone that I'll try putting in, or maybe like a couple photos, but we'll see. Only a couple days left of this readathon. Alright, so the magical readathon has already ended. It is now May 2nd. So you can probably already tell I most definitely did not take any video while I was in London. I kind of just enjoyed my time. I did take my camera with me, but I left it in the hotel room. I spent the weekend exploring non-touristy spots that I can take my friend to and my family to when they come to visit. And also because the friend that I went to London for the weekend with, she said I really needed to learn about the real London rather than always going to the more touristy sections or just going to the library, which is, well, it was the main reason I went for the last couple months because of the dissertation. But even with that, I still managed to finish 2 other books. So that brings my total up to 4 that I finished for the Owls readathon, or the Magical Readathon Owls edition. And most importantly, I finished all of the ones for my career pick of Orologist. So I did that. I'm proud of myself for managing to finish the books for the career I chose. And then I have 1 book that I finished outside of it. I did have another book I finished this month, but it was one I had started in January, so it doesn't quite count. Also, it didn't really fit any of the criteria to begin with. I double checked to be sure. So that one's not going to count, because I didn't read it this month. I kind of only finished it. And that book, there will be a review coming up for it soon. I have it filmed, I just need to finish editing it. But other than that, the books that I finished for the month of April for the Magical Readathon Owls edition were Personate by Komi Niyoshi. I did enjoy my reread of this. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was still a lot of fun. It was still interesting. It was something fun to read to get away from my dissertation for like a couple minutes. And quite frankly, I enjoy the art style. I don't know too much more to say about it. Like, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I guess there can be something said about the social commentary of it because it's about a world where people are all wearing masks. They have to be the same because it's a world that's supposed to be perfect without hate, without discrimination because of these masks where everyone looks the same. And then someone who goes, well, that's completely wrong and wants to get rid of it. So I guess there's a bit of a commentary there. But either way, it was fun, it was interesting, it was a nice quick little break. I kind of wish there had been more. The next book I finished, and this one was not part of my career picked Orologist, but I read Blood Witch by Susan Dennard. So, as soon as I finished my dissertation, I promised myself I was going to read this as a reward for finally being done, as I did say, so I read it. The minute my dissertation was done, like the very next day after I slept off the 30-hour, I was up for 30 hours making sure my dissertation was perfected, okay, printing it, getting it bound, and then taking it to the office. So as soon as it was done, I pretty much just went home, passed out. So the next day I picked up this and I just sat there and I read until I passed out again. And it was well worth the wait. I absolutely love this. I'm already planning on rereading it in a couple months because I was so overjoyed starting it that there were bits and pieces I wasn't entirely sure I understood. So I want to reread this and I want to see if I can understand some of those sections a little bit better this second read. There were some bits that were a little confusing to me. I don't know if that's because it's been a while since I've read the Witchland books, because I finished Sight Witch back in August, so almost a year now. So I'm wondering if because it's been quite a while, that's why it was confusing me. But it could also be the fact that I was extremely still kind of sleep deprived, and so I'm planning on rereading this very, very soon because I want to see if maybe not reading it in such a sleep deprived state will allow me to understand what's going on a little bit better. Besides all that though, I absolutely love this book. 5 out of 5. Cannot wait until the next one comes out, which I have no idea when that's going to be. On Goodreads it said expected is, I think it said December 31st of 2019. I am pretty sure that's incorrect, and we're probably not going to see the next book until 2020. So I'm going to have to reread this as well as the rest of the books in order to survive until the next one comes out, because I really need to know what happens after everything that goes on in this book. But I loved it. I'm happy I read it for the Magical Readathon. It was the only one I read outside of my career choices, and that was because this was my reward for finishing my dissertation. So, loved it, happy. Not much else I can say about it. Besides, I do have to reread it because I read it a bit sleep deprived. I'm just now realizing I should probably say what each of my books were for. So Personate was for divination, a book set in the future, and then Blood Witch was for the class Transfiguration, because it has a red cover. So I'm a neurologist who will know Transfiguration. So the next one I finished was my pick for History of Magic, and that was one of the ones for the career path of Aurologist, and I read Black Cauldron by Alexander Lloyd. Or is it Lloyd Alexander? Oh no, it's Lloyd Alexander. I keep getting them mixed up. This is just kind of a thing now. So this, like Personate, was a reread for me, but it had been, oh gosh, like at least a decade, if not more. Yeah, more than a decade since I read Black Cauldron. Because I read Black Cauldron when I was in elementary school, or primary school, I think is what they call it in the UK. Either way, I was very, very young. And I do want to finish the other books in the Chronicles of Prydain, so I had reread Book of 3 about a year and a half ago, 2 years. I didn't get around to Black Cauldron though, so I got around to it this time for the Magical Readathon. And I did enjoy it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, 3.5, whichever, because I did enjoy it, but I think I enjoyed it more for the nostalgia factor than I did for the actual book in some respects. Because it is very much a children's fantasy novel, and they are fun on occasion, but this one was almost too easy, if that makes any sense. So I enjoyed it. It was a quick read. I got through it very quickly. There was a lot I did not remember, so there's still a lot in there that surprised me because I just did not remember it. That and it is different from the Disney movie because the Disney movie is based on the first 2 books, so they combine a lot of characters and events. In general, I did enjoy it. I'm looking forward to reading the rest of the books because I do want to see how the entirety of the series wraps up, and I want to see what happens to these characters. But I think I'm going to wait a little while because it's just very kid-friendly in a sense, and I don't particularly enjoy reading middle grade or children's chapter books that much. I have nothing against them, I just don't always enjoy reading them. They're not really my thing. There are, of course, some exceptions to this. It's just, I can't read them very often. So I did enjoy it. I'll be continuing the series eventually, and I finished my History of Magic requirement. And then the last one I finished, and this was for astronomy, and this was the one besides Blood Witch, I was really looking forward to this. I read Rogue One, A Star Wars Story by Alexander Freed. Now, I'm a big fan of Star Wars. I grew up on it, so when they started making the new movies, not the prequels. I'm sorry, the only good one out of the prequels was the first one. Like, the only one. I have a soft spot for Phantom Menace. But other than that, when they got to the newer ones, so like Episode 7, Episode 8, the upcoming Episode 9, and then of course Rogue One and Han Solo Story, or the Han Solo movie, Solo, A Star Wars Story, there, that's the title. My favorite out of these newer ones is Rogue One. I love that movie. I remember seeing it in theaters and just being shocked by the ending because Lucasfilms is owned by Disney. So when I found out there was a novelization, I really wanted to read it because I've had problems in the past getting into Star Wars books. I had tried reading the Han Solo books many, many years ago as part of a deal with my dad. He would read the Harry Potter books, I would read the Han Solo books. So at this point, I think my dad has maybe reread the Harry Potter series maybe 10 times by now. I don't know, he seems to reread it like once a year at this point. And I think once he read it twice in 1 year. I, on the other hand, have never managed to finish the Han Solo books. I started the first one of the Han Solo adventures, so not the trilogy that has him through his teenage years and before the movies start, but the ones that's after. I think it's after the movies? I do not remember. I'm going to have to double check the message from my dad about that. But either way, I couldn't even finish the first chapter. But after I found the novelization for Rogue One, I wanted to give Star Wars books another try because I really do want to read them. I've seen how much my dad talks about them and how much he loves them and how great the stories are that I really want to love them as well. I want to read them, I want to enjoy them, I want to immerse myself more in this world. And I want to see just how different the movie canon is from the book canon. So because I love the movie, I read the novelization of Rogue One and I loved it. it gives you so much more from the movie. It gives you a little bit more of a backstory, it gives you a little bit more about the characters, it gives you more of an insight as to what they're feeling and what's going on. So I really loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was fantastic. This could possibly be because I am a fangirl of the movie. I absolutely love it, so I was already anticipating I was going to love it. But either way, if you are a fan of Star Wars, if you liked Rogue One, if you just like Star Wars in general, I recommend it. It is really, really good. It is really good for a novelization of a movie. Trust me on this, I have read one before and it was not that good. So there, those were all of the books I managed to read for the Magical Readathon Owls edition. It wasn't a lot, but I'm still very proud of myself because I finished the 3 for the Career Path Orologist, and I finished one more, which is, well, that's fantastic for me because, as I have stated quite a bit throughout this, I was also completing my dissertation. So not only did I manage to finish the 3 books for my career, 1 extra, I also managed to finish a massive master's dissertation, which I had been working on for a very long time. So it was a very successful month. And there, that is the wrap up of my attempted reading vlog for the Magical Readathon. Yeah, I already know I didn't do very well, but in my defense, I spent most of the month just writing. I did my best. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos by me, both bookish and travel related, please be sure to click that subscribe button down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye!